Shalom, my friends. I am Abraham Stern. Today, I want to share a secret that took me 70 years to truly understand. Imagine waking up every morning with a heavy leather pouch in your pocket filled with pure gold coins. But this gold isn't for buying things. It is your life force. It is your peace, the luck that protects your home. Yet, when someone asks you a simple, routine question, how are you? You open that pouch and you throw your gold at them for nothing. By sunset, your pouch is empty, your energy is gone, and you wonder why your biggest deal just collapsed, or why on earth a fight started with your wife over nothing. You think it's a bad streak? No. My grandfather, a wise old man, used to tell me, Abe, the mouth is a gate. If you swing it too wide, the warmth escapes while the cold wind rushes in. Today, we close that gate. Let's start with the most dangerous topic of all, money. In America, we are obsessed with precision. We want to know the exact price of everything. But science tells us something chilling. When a person hears about your success, their brain processes it in the same region as physical pain. Your new car, your new home, they are literally hurting those around you. This is why you must master the technique of blurred numbers. When a colleague asks, Abe, what did that house cost you? They aren't doing math. They are calculating your worth relative to theirs. If the number is too small, they look down on you. If it's too large, you awaken the beast of envy. The solution? Stay in the fog. My grandfather once bought a roll of fine English wool. It was a king's ransom. A neighbor stopped us on the street, his eyes narrowing. Abraham, he cried, what did you drop on that wool? I was young. I wanted to scream the high price, to show off. But grandfather gripped my shoulder. He smiled and said, I paid exactly enough to wear it with a clear conscience, and not a penny more. He gave an answer, but he gave no data. Remember, if you give them a number, they own your success. If you leave them in the fog, the power stays only with you. Luck does not like accountants. Now, let's talk about a disease that plagues 90% of good, decent people. I call it the urge to be convenient. In America, you call it people pleasing. When you say no and then follow it with a mountain of excuses, you aren't being polite. You are bleeding. My friend, you are bleeding power. You are telling the world, my time isn't mine. I just don't have a good enough lie today. Listen closely. No is a complete sentence. It doesn't need a crutch. It doesn't need proof. My grandfather taught me the royal refusal. He told me the story of my Uncle Manya. Manya was a man of gold, but he was too soft. He had a cottage by the river where he dreamed of peace. But every summer, his home became a hotel for distant relatives and friends of friends. They brought steaks, but Manya, he paid with his nerves. One day, my grandfather told him, Manya, your excuses are blood in the water, and the sharks are already coming. He gave him a simple script. Unfortunately, this weekend doesn't work for me. When they asked why, he said, because I have other plans. Even if his plan was to stare at the ceiling, he didn't explain. He became a stone wall. Remember, no explanation is the ultimate power. In life, there are people. I call them energy vampires. You know them: the toxic boss, the jealous friend, the relative who only lives for drama. They feed on your emotions. They want to see you cry. They want to see you angry. They want to break your armor. My grandfather taught me the gray rock method. Imagine a dull gray stone on the side of a dusty road. It's boring. It's cold. You don't want to kick it. You don't want to take it home. You just walk past it. When a toxic person attacks you, become that stone. Give them nothing. Don't argue. Don't explain. Answer in one word: okay. I see. Maybe. Make your answers tasteless, like dry sand. I remember a woman named Bella. Her mother-in-law, Rosa Markovna, was a general in a dress. She loved to humiliate Bella at every dinner. Bella, is this soup thin because you're lazy? Or did you just forget the meat? Bella used to cry. She used to defend herself. And Rosa, she grew stronger, feeding on those tears. One day, Bella became a stone. Rosa said, "This cake is dry. A real wife would bake it herself." Bella, looking at her plate, said calmly, "Yes, it is from the store." And she kept eating. Rosa was furious. She tried to sting harder, but Bella only said, "I understand your opinion." In 20 minutes, Rosa Markovna was exhausted. She had no more fuel. Remember, the best punishment for a provocateur is your total indifference. We all love compliments. We work hard. We dress well just to hear someone say something nice. But my experience, and the experience of my ancestors, tells a different story. Sometimes a loud, glowing compliment is a ticking bomb. When someone says, "What a magnificent home you have," they might be thinking, "Why don't I have this?" Behind the sweet words, there is often a drop of bitterness, a drop of envy. If you accept the praise with pride, you accept that bitterness into your life. My grandfather taught me the return of the compliment. It's a way to be a mirror. Don't take the gift. Reflect it back. I remember our neighbor, Aunt Sonia. She was a beautiful woman, even in her 70s, and she had a best friend named Clara. Clara was an expert at praising people to death. She would stop Sonia and say, "Oh, Sonia, look at your skin, not a single wrinkle. And that coat, it must have cost a fortune. You are glowing like a diamond." And every time after Clara spoke, something bad happened. Sonia would lose her wallet or get a terrible migraine. Clara was eating Sonia's luck with her praise. My father told Sonia, "Stop taking the bomb, return it." The next time Clara started her performance, Sonia smiled warmly, looked her in the eye, and said, "Clara dear, it's only because you have such a kind heart and pure eyes that you see beauty everywhere. Only a light-filled person like you could say such wonderful things." Clara froze. She turned red. She tried to cough, but the words were stuck in her throat. The envy she had hidden in her praise hit the mirror and went straight back to her. She stopped giving compliments. After that day, remember, if someone praises you, don't say, "Thank you." Say, "It is because you are such a good person that you see this in me." Stay transparent. Let the envy pass through you and return to its owner. What I'm about to tell you concerns the most precious thing you own. Not your money, not your career, but your life. When we fall ill, when our body fails, what is the first thing we want to do? We want to be children again. We want someone, anyone to pity us. We pick up the phone, we call our friends, we tell everyone, I'm so sick. The doctor said the tests are terrible. I'm so afraid. Listen to me. This is a suicidal impulse. Sickness is a crack in your armor. You are like a fortress whose wall has collapsed. And instead of calling for repairs, you stand in the square and scream, Look, I am wounded. I have a hole right here. Pity is a swamp. When people say, Oh, you poor thing, you're so young to have such problems, they aren't giving you strength. They are hanging a weight on your neck. They are fixing you in the state of a victim. My father taught me, when a beast is wounded, it goes to the deepest cave. It stays silent. It cuts off the world, so every drop of energy can go to healing. I remember Mikhail, a giant of a man, a butcher with a voice like thunder. He never got sick until his heart finally stumbled. It was a simple operation, but Mikhail was terrified. He called everyone. He told the whole neighborhood, I'm going under the knife. Who knows if I'll wake up? Pray for me. He made his surgery a show, and the show nearly killed him. People in the market began to bury him in their minds. Poor Mikhail, they whispered. The heart is no joke. My neighbor died like that. Mikhail was fading. The doctors couldn't understand why such a strong man wasn't fighting. My father went to Mikhail's wife and said, Stop the calls. Tell everyone he is fine. He is just resting. Kill the pity before it kills him. Silence saved him. When the world stopped mourning him, he found the strength to live. Remember, if you are weak, tell the doctor, tell God, but keep your mouth closed to the world. Healing loves silence. Success is a bright light, and a bright light attracts many moths. But some of those moths, my friends, they have stings. If you appear too perfect, if your life looks like a polished diamond, you become a target. You awaken a hunger in people, a hunger to see you fall. This is why you must always keep a pebble in your shoe. My grandfather, the same man who bought that fine English wool, once told me, Abe, if you want to walk through a crowded market without being pushed, always carry a small limp. He meant you must always have a small, harmless flaw that you share with the world. I knew a man named Isaac. He was a son, and everyone around him felt like a shadow. He had the perfect business, the perfect sons, the perfect health. He never complained. He was too much. People didn't love him. They waited. And when a small crisis hit his company, nobody helped. They cheered. They wanted the sun to go down. Smart people, successful people, they are different. When someone asks, How is business, Abe? I don't say, I am making millions. I say, everything is fine, thank God. But this old back of mine, it's giving me trouble again. Or, the business is growing, but my youngest grandson, he is such a rebel. He keeps me awake at night. Give them a small bone to chew on. Give them a reason to feel a little bit sorry for you. It disarms the envy. It makes you human. If you have a pebble in your shoe and you let people see you limp just a little, they will let you finish the race in peace. Remember, perfection is an invitation to an attack. And now, my friends, we come to the greatest thief of our time, the little glowing screen in your hand. This world, it is designed to make you break every rule I have taught you today. It wants you to show your gold. It wants you to broadcast your pain. Social media is a machine that turns your life into a store window. You post a photo of your dinner, your vacation, your new watch. You think you are sharing joy, but you are actually inviting 1,000 eyes to calculate your worth. You are breaking the technique of blurred numbers. Every time you hit post, you are giving away your data and your power for the price of a like. And a like is just a crumb of pity or a mask for envy. My grandfather, if he were alive today, would tell you, Abe, the most expensive thing you can own is a life that nobody knows about. Silence is the new luxury. Privacy is the new wealth. Don't let the world become your accountant. Don't let them own your success or your struggle. Go back to the fog. Close the gate. Protect your gold. I am Abraham Stern, and this was my ledger. Shalom, and walk in peace.